Okay, two, something I've got to unload after 6 years of holding it in. Earlier that day, I had an encounter on Facebook. One of my friends from church, or at least his page, his Facebook page or profile, started to message me, and I'm not sure if it was that morning or if it started like the day before or sometime. But we were going back and forth right before I was getting ready to go to St. Andrews to be picked up, and then from there the OC register building. And this was, like a fairly good friend from California Victory Church, and he was just upset because he thought that I believed I was a child. And it's like, you're not a child anymore, you're all grown up and all that, and stop posting all these pictures and such. Well, number one, my Facebook page isn't inundated with all my childhood photos. I post hundreds and thousands, if not tens of thousands of recent photos. I just like to, post and share my previous pictures from when I was younger, like TBTs, which is Throwback Thursday, or Flashback Fridays and such. I just like sharing, and I also use Facebook as like organizing my pictures and such, or another way to organize pictures. I even say that in my book, and it's because of my autism that I'm very OCD about that, but it's a very, very long story. I don't want to start that now. My point is that he started to attack me on that. I say it's not about the pictures anymore, although I do know that I am grown up. I do not believe for an instant that I'm younger than I am. I don't believe that. I'm just sharing, and there's nothing wrong with that. But now it's not about that anymore. And so I segue the conversation as a Christian to talk to him about church. Like, does he still go to church? And he said, yeah, I go to this church and such in another city. And my point in that is trying to, remind him about, Christian friendship and such, and because that's in my heart. Well, I just wanted to make sure of that. I mean, I did see this person rant on Facebook about the church before, not because he was ranting against Christianity, but against how somebody was treated at our church. But speaking about our church, I mean, that's how we became friends in the first place. I mean, we knew each other for years, we enjoyed talking to each other, and all of a sudden he turned on me. And then, all of a sudden, the entire tone switched when I was communicating with this person. And I read, oh, sorry about that, I'm very sorry, oh, that was my cousin. And I'm like, who? And apparently, according to what I read, the real person, the real friend, got on and started to apologize to me, saying that was his cousin speaking to me using his account, and that he just got mad at him and such. And I believed that, and it hasn't been proven to me otherwise. So I started to talk to whom I know now is my friend, and I said, oh, could we be Facebook friends again? And he's like, oh, sure, buddy. And so, because apparently this cousin, had unfriended me using his account, and it looked like that he unfriended me and such. So that kind of calmed me down, because I was really, as an autistic, I can't help to get those feelings inside, just, feeling pain, and even so far as feeling hated and such. And that I say that because that's what autistic people go through, and sometimes we're not wrong on that. But that aside, that did make me feel a bit better, and we were Facebook friends for a time, and then I go back and see that, oh, we're not Facebook friends anymore. So I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. So I just dropped it, and then years later, after I became an author of a book that's selling around the world, all of a sudden I get a Facebook friend request from him again, so it's like, okay. But basically, I started to feel better. I was trying to be optimistic about my life and such, because I'm just about to have a big story about me in the paper, which would give me a sense of purpose and belonging in this world, and that one day all discrimination against me will stop, and not just, people like this, but, around the neighborhood, because I've been discriminated by people around the neighborhood. That's a very long story. I have several YouTube videos about that, and it still persists to this day, but I don't want to talk about that right now. So even though I started to feel better having this account tell me that it was somebody else using his account in the name of my friend, I started to think in retrospect, probably shortly after, well, what about that person? There's still a person out there that still thinks that I believe I'm a child when I'm not and hates me over it. I mean, that person was cussing in that thread, that message thread, like saying blank this and bye and everything, and just childish teasing like language and such. So, and it's like he's accusing me of being a child or think I'm a child. So, but honestly, I'm a big supporter that anyone can do what they set their mind to do. I believe that people like this person had something happen in the past, something that made them hurt or angry. Usually, I mean, the quote goes, hurt people, and people who are bullies were bullies themselves and all that, and that was true and such. And people who are bullies are usually jealous of other people, and I mean, I'm trying to eradicate all bullying and discrimination, and that the people who are bullies or trolls will, realize they have a purpose, because I believe that, and I'll always believe that. If they go to their deathbed believing that, I'd feel a bit sad that I failed, because I believe that everyone has a purpose in this life, and that's why I'm fighting hard to get this book out and get myself out to the billions of people, and that's why I'm asking for these call to actions. And of course, I do know this friend of mine, the friend who seemed to be the real friend to me. This person lives in a rough neighborhood in Santa Ana, California. I mean, one of our pastors told me that he was driving him home and dropped him off, and then a couple of houses down, there's a gunshot where someone was murdered and such. So I'm sure that really resonates in the heart and the mind of people in certain neighborhoods across the world. But I'm trying to bring the truth that everyone has a purpose and a calling. Just put aside differences and discrimination, stop being angry, and just believe in yourself, even if I have to follow that with "for once," as in believe in yourself for once and such. So anyway, there's a lot more I could continue to go on and on, but I believe I made the point. So anyway, stay strong, continue to do the best that you can, persevere, not give up. You have a purpose and a calling. Autism or not, you can do what you set your mind to do. I mean, I have autism, I could juggle, I'm an Eagle Scout equivalent, I have a degree in chemistry, I have 8 more weeks before I have a bachelor's in biochemistry, after which I'm going to be in the credential program for I'm already accepted, and then after that, the master's program. So if I could do it, you can, plus more. So have an excellent day.